Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the Citadel of NewChurch. I'm your host, Captain, here to go over our latest war recap. Just a reminder, I will be taking certain liberties to change some names to avoid butchering or slaughtering them. With that out of the way, let's get into the recap, shall we? As you can see, it was a blowout for the Citadel. We were bathing in the holy water, while Taylor Swift's two nipples couldn't seem to get the ball rolling. We had the perfect with only one dip, so our altar boys were definitely getting the blessings of the Pope inside their mouths. Speaking of the altar boys, we had a couple of them that had a good amount of six-packs. We have, at number 1, hepatitis. At number 2, trichomoniasis. At number 5, we got the crabs. At number 9, we got chlamydia. At number 16, we got syphilis. At number 19, we got bacterial vaginosis. At number 23, we got human papillomavirus. At number 28, we got the chancroid. Getting into the recaps, woo! We're going to jump right in. Number 1, with the hepatitis. Gonna be sending this little loony. Take out that cannon. Remove the cannons. He does not get cannons. He gets the cannons. Yes. So the baby's going to be dropped in to help establish a funnel. Sending more loons in to get rid of the trash buildings on the outside. Sending the blimp to get this nice little clone spell going in. Freezes the queen in the inferno to help the blimp get in even further. As soon as it's as far as he wants it to get, sets the clone. And then just starts dropping all over his hepatitis. The queen is down. Dragon is still up. He's going to be blasting in a couple buildings that are all next to each other. Has that entire compartment blown out. Still has that one clone loon floating there, which is pretty sweet. Queen's going to be walking on the outside. His queen is going to slowly but surely be trying to slink her way outside. But then she's going to jot right back into that little aisle. Just giving this king a little moment to get to the corner before he pops the ability to make sure she goes to the town hall next. And then Shaboopy. Unfortunately, the skeleton trap is gonna hinder his queen a little bit, but no problem. King's doing his thing, thinking like he's gonna come back and get some. No, he don't. Queen finally gets the town hall down, tries to come over and get the wizard tower, doesn't quite get it. And then from here on out, he's gonna start his Lalo, coming from 7 o'clock. A couple loons in from the wizard tower. Then he drops the hound to make sure that they'll be right behind the hound. Same over there at 5 o'clock. Soaks the sand with the loon, unfortunately. Thank God it wasn't the warden. Just going to be slowly but surely making his way counterclockwise. Dropping the loons over there by 2 o'clock as well. Everybody's going to start collapsing right on top of this eagle. Tomes over top of the fire. All these loons are going to collapse right inside of this haste before the shots were going to be able to reach it. Has the 2 hounds popping over there at 11 o'clock. It doesn't matter. He's got so many loons up. That tornado spell kind of was a little bit of a hindrance, but the loons were just circling to stay out of any kind of defenses, so they were all right. And then from here on out, it's just simple cleanup. Still has the loon in the bag for helping the cleanup as well. Woo-hoo. But overall, it was a very nice attack for the hepatitis. For our next hit, we got the trichomoniasis. He's going to be taking his little time starting up. Whoop! Up there by 12 o'clock with his heroes. His king's going to beat down that gold mine, and then he's going to turn back the way that he wanted. Unfortunately, the king's going to target a wall for absolutely zero reason. Enough to tank for the queen to get that wizard tower. King's going to get that gold mine. He's going to try to bounce back out and stay alive. I don't think... Nope, he didn't get it. But the queen is enough to go in, get this inferno down. With her ability, of course. She's going to drop down to get to the bomb tower and the mort. I don't think she gets enough time to get to the air defense. Yeah, she doesn't get to the air defense. Ooh, she does. Sweet. Anyways, the hound is going to be able to retarget. The loons are going to be slowly but surely making their way towards that expo to make sure that none of them path back out. Dropping enough haste and rages right in there at 8 o'clock to make sure everybody's just going to collapse. Queen is unfortunately targeting a hound that pops, drops another rage, gets the skeletons right on top. The multi there is kind of a little hindrance, but he's got enough loons in there that it's just all going to collapse. Unfortunately, the Giga Tesla plus those 5 Teslas are all stacked with each other in front of that multi-inferno. He's still got the tome. He's still got 2 haste and a heal. As soon as he gets in range, gonna drop the heal and pop the tome at the same time. And then shaboopy. Or preemptive shaboopy, I should say. Yeah, he's just gonna wait a little bit longer. There he goes. But yeah, his queen is still up. I have no idea how. Tome's right on top of that town hall. Unfortunately, the back end of him didn't quite make it. But he still got the loon right there to take out that archer tower. The king is going to be slight time killer for these pups / minions, but at this point it's just basic cleanup. He does finally trigger the hound and the 2 loons. He's got so many of them up that they're just going to slowly but surely take him out. And he gets the town hall, or CC. So well done to the Trichomoniasis. And then we're going to watch another one of his. This, I want to say, is in online base. There was quite a few of them. I'm not sure why he would pick a base like this, but hey, if it floats your boat, go ahead. Alright, he's going to get the freeze and the haste, or the rage with the clone. Whole bunch of loons are spreading out, giving room for the Electro Dragon to zap down the CC. I think the queen was in there too. Dropping some back end loons to clear a little path for the heroes, so that way they're going to go clockwise. The queen, unfortunately, is just going to want to do her own thing. BK is going to beat on these buildings on the outside, while the queen's just going to get slowly but surely taken out. Electro Dragon is still alive up in there. Pops the ability. He gets to the expo. And then from here on out, he's going to start doing his Lalo over there by 2 o'clock. Whoop. 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock. Derp, derp. Can't read a clock. Doing his Lalo. Coming on in hot. Gets the 1 loon into the tornado spell, which is really nice. Unfortunately, the warden is just sitting somewhat close to that inferno. Luckily, the loon's haste to go in and take it out. Everybody's going to start collapsing onto this eagle right here thanks to that air sweeper. Still has a hound up. All the loons are going towards that air defense, and after that, should go after the town hall. Pops the ability as soon as they reach the hall. Gets a decent little split to take out that inferno tower to make sure none of them would try to take his loons. Unfortunately, that wizard tower, yeah, got to be the hindrance. The minions and pups are joining up together there into the core to take out the BK in the Dark Elixir storage, but at this point, simple cleanup. Loons are going back for this Tesla over here at 9 o'clock, while everybody else either got rid of the skeletons or cleaned up. So well done. So again, Mr. Trichomoniasis. For our next one, we're going to have number 5 with the crabs. As you can tell, it's going to be another Electron attack. Sends out the sacrificial loon, gets the blimp floating in from the 7 o'clock. Rages on top of the queen, drops the 2 clones, gets the dragons, luckily. Takes out the queen, takes out the baby. The 1 dragon actually takes them out with the inferno still up and running. Gets the nice bounces, the weaken the defenses at least. As the dragon tries to get out of the poison, he gets hit with the lightning spell of the Electro Dragon. Dropping the heroes over there at 11 o'clock to take out those 2 air defenses as the dragon slowly makes his way across. BK is trying to be a hindrance, but he pops the ability to take him out. At that point, he's got enough barbs that the dragon's going to be preoccupied and get taken out with 4 shots. Or 5, can't count. As soon as he drops that storage, he's going to be right there at those 2 air defenses. And after that, the queen is going to go right into that alcove with the double cannon, and the wizard tower to take that out. Unfortunately, pulls the loon, but Doesn't really matter. The loon's just going to be able to be dropped very easily with the pops. Starting his Lalo down there at 6 o'clock. Going counterclockwise. Gets the loons going into the haste. Triggers the tornado spell, I think, with a random pop, luckily. And right when they're about to go in there, the spell is over. Or not the spell, the trap. Can't talk today. Burp, 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 burp. Slowly but surely making his loon's way into the eagle. He's got the one haste left. He's going to try to get that on top of the Expo and the eagle itself. Tomes on top. Everybody's going to collapse on that Expo and the air defense, or air sweeper. Man, I really can't talk today. As his unfortunate minions down there are going to slowly but surely be getting annihilated by that Tesla. He's got all of his troops up here at the top. It would have been nice if that haste would have lasted a little longer and been a little bit further north to help speed up these loons. But the Grand Warden's doing his thing on the cannon to help speed it up, so that way when these pops do collapse down in here, everybody's going to target the loons and not the what's remaining. Grand Warden is acting as the tank. He damn near gets it himself when the loons finally do the one drop. All those minions and pops are going to finish up the cleanup while the loons get right in front of that Tesla again. So good job to the crabs. For number 6, we're going to have Chlamydia. Dropping his golem over there at 8 o'clock. Gets a nice bowler bounce on top of that archer tower. Man, I really can't talk. Got his ram going at a pretty decent angle. Got a couple little Golemite and Bowler walking on the outside. That's fine to help establish the funnel even further. The ram is going to finally start breaking into the base as the BK started beating the wall in front of him. So the BK dies, but the ram is still up and running. As all these people are going to be going further into the base, his sole goal is to get to that Archer Queen. As soon as it's about to break through that wall, drops the Rage, drops the Tome. The Valks are finally going to go over to those two heroes, take them out. Almost got those in the Rage too. That would have been nice. And he starts doing his hogs over there at 11, going clockwise. Fortunately, it hits that tornado trap. Haha, nailed that word. As his queen is slowly but surely trying to take out some of these defenses, but the gold storage had to go first. Still got the 3 heals. As soon as they go on top of that Inferno Tower and the Wizard Tower, he's going to drop the heal. Got a couple skeletons. The Grand Warden is going to trigger a couple traps along his way for whatever angle he felt like doing. Right by that bomb tower, he's going to be right there in the heal. So as they're in the bomb tower / Wizard Tower / Tesla, all nicely healed. Some Valks are actually still up and running, tanking for the hogs as they continue on their journey. Has the last heal right in front of that Wizard Tower to help soak up this giant bomb, which is actually 6 small bombs. And then from here on out, he had his cleanup drop pretty early. Takes out the skeletons. Simple cleanup. So well done to the Chlamydia. We do have another one with him on number 7. Not quite a maxed 11, but we will take what we get. Dropping a couple sacrificial loons over there at 5 o'clock. Gets the blimp in. Dropping the clonage. Decides to drop a light rage. So they're not going to get quite too much of that base. Enough to establish what he wanted. Electro does finally step forward to try to zap at the queen, but unfortunately right when he's about to shoot, he goes down. Gonna drop the baby over there at 10 o'clock to help establish the funnel. BK is going to beat some of these buildings. Right when the baby's about to drop is when that elixir collector drops. So now his heroes are going to turn going counterclockwise. The king's going to only be in the Inferno Tower for a moment. Pops the ability to help speed him up. And then finally gets out right when he reaches the BK, so that's when he finally bites the dust. The queen is going to be up and running. Since the BK is down, she's going to be free reign once she pops her ability at this archer tower. The archers trigger the archer queen. She finally turns phase and 3 shots. Okay, a little less because she ran out of the ability. Starts his Laloon over there from 11 going clockwise. Got the Hound nicely tanking. Unfortunately, it pops before it reaches the air defense. Hits the tornado trap over there at 130. Has to pop the ability to help speed these guys up because the warden was about to die. Hasten them through the eagle and these defenses. He doesn't quite get the Inferno Tower over there by 10 o'clock. Heals right there directly in the middle of the core. Now his loons are going to slowly but surely start collecting on top of that Inferno Tower as the rest of them are going to collapse that junction he was hoping down there at 6 o'clock. He's got plenty of loons. It's just slowly playing the waiting game. Dropped his cleanup nice and early. And after that, simple cleanup. So well done to the Chlamydia. Our next one is going to be number 10 with the Lymphogranuloma. He's just going to miner the fuck out of this base. He's going to drop his queen over there at 9 o'clock. His BK there at 1 o'clock. Ram coming in from 12. As soon as they slowly but surely get the funnel built, he's just going to drop a whole shenanigans full of miners. He's got a multi trying to take some of them out, but they're just going to keep burrowing. This isn't even going to phase them. He pops the queen a little early because she got locked onto with the Inferno Tower. Because the archer queen or enemy archer queen steps forward, the miners are going to go in and take her out. And then the queen is going to be nice and dandy again with her archers tanking for her. Whoop. The ram is still up at over half health. The hound is really doing nothing but targeting that ram. Queen is sniping all these nice buildings on the outside. Almost at full health. Still has a heal in the bag. Whole bunch of miners. His BK unfortunately bit the dust over there at 2 o'clock. Any defense that targets his archer queen is biting the dust right when she reaches it. The only unfortunate thing is because the archer queen makes it this long, the hound finally comes towards the outside where she's going to unfortunately try to snipe it. But he's still got that heal. He's still got a whole crap ton of miners that it's still looking pretty good. Mino's going in. The hound finally retargets towards the queen. Unfortunately, she doesn't have the ability, so she's going to slowly but surely die. Comes back over to get some more pups. They're the ones. Oh, right there at the last little drop. This is where she bites the dust finally. Yep. The last little thing of shot in the air, floating in the air, kills her. But anyways, he's still got the miners. One targeting for the cannon as the other ones go in towards it. And they take out the air defense. And she done. So that was a well done to Mr. Lymphoma Granuloma. And our next base is number 12 with the herpes. He's going to be sending his golems in from 11 and 1 o'clock. Wizards in behind, ramming from 12 o'clock straight in. Helping establish this funnel. Wizards were very nicely placed, so that way they were not in the splash damage of the bomb tower. Unfortunately for the one over there at 1 o'clock, yeah, he wasn't so lucky. The queen made you think like she was going to bounce out. She goes right back in. He has a Houndlood CC. Targets the ram. Fortunately, it's going to bite the dust before it gets through the center of that core. The loon finally does drop, so his bowlers won't die. Taking out all of this core with the rage heal. Queen, unfortunately, targets the hound, so she's useless at this point. The two multis are trying to eat away at these barbs, but the bowlers have annihilated a lot of this base. Looking at this nice letter L. Hound does pop, gets the poison down. Queen is slowly but surely killing these pups. And then when she steps in to keep getting at these pups, pops the ability, so that way she's going to also take out this multi, so these hogs can keep right on and rolling. The double giant bomb would have been very nasty. Gets the heal directly on top, very nice. Hogs slowly but surely still making their way counterclockwise, dropping his cleanup over there at 9 o'clock. Finally has some skeletons start popping up, trying to kill him. Still has a heal in the bag. Everybody's going to collapse directly on top of that Inferno Tower and Archer Tower. With that last heal, anything is basically done at this point. Triggers each of these giant bombs one at a time. Gets a nice split with the hogs. Although the skeletons were a slight inconvenience, he still had the heal enough to keep them alive, so that way at this last mortar, it's just helping with the cleanup. So well done to the Herpes. And number 13, we got Scabies. Gonna start his little cleanup over there at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Couple boulders in behind to help speed up this process with a nice boulder bounce on that wizard tower. Finally drops the golem down there at 5 o'clock. Boulder bounce does get the archer tower, so the golem will retarget toward that mortar. Boulder moves over to help get rid of that barracks, to help establish the final even further. Drops the ram over there at 4 o'clock to go directly in towards that wizard tower. The king does hop out, but it helps bring his king back in. Just enough time for that mortar to go down, so that way he won't walk. Has a hound and 5 goblins coming out. Not sure what the goblins are really there for. Dropping the rage for his bowlers, so that way when this ram is about to pop, everything within this junction is going to go down with these Valks. Unfortunately, they go off to the side where they're no longer in the rage to get through that wall to get to the queen. The hound pops. His queen is going to be enough to help take these out with the poison. King is slowly but surely tanking for his queen. As she's taking out the last of those pups, she's going to go over to the Expo and the Inferno Tower there at 6 o'clock. Take them both out. As he starts his Laloon over here from 130 going counterclockwise. Couple loons to get those defenses that won't target him. Hasting these loons into the air defense to get towards the Inferno Tower. Soaking up the red bombs for these loons right there over there by 9 o'clock was really nice. Hasting these loons to get through the base. Unfortunately, the hound is going to pop before anybody really reaches it, but he still has a rage, a heal, and a freeze in the bag. His queen finally bites the dust over there at 7:30. Rages the loons. And then from here on out, simple cleanup with a swag heal and a freeze. So well done to the Scabies. And then our next one is going to be number 16 with the Bacterial Vaginosis. Drops the Golem over there at 9 o'clock. Unfortunately, pops a hidden Tesla. The Loon is also going to drop because of the air defense. Drops a naked wizard to get that hidden Tesla. He walks over just enough to be out of that range. Not really sure why he had to walk when that elixir collector was closer. As he starts doing the sacrificial loons, aka Electron, directly on top of that queen. Pops it. All these loons are flying out. Dragon's going to one-shot the cannon, the queen, and a wizard tower. As these loons just further create a funnel for his Laloon to come up. Electron is going to get slightly preoccupied with these skeletons. Takes out 3 of the 4. Can't quite get the last one. But when he does come over to that expo, he does get the shot to kill it. Has his heroes coming over here at 9 o'clock to help establish the funnel to get into that Inferno Tower. Kind of a brave attack because the king beats the wall to open it up. Anytime I was to ever try to do something of my own, I would never pull that off. Has the loons trying to help out the queen as soon as she comes out of her ability. but she does get the Inferno Tower down. Starting that loon from basically 8 o'clock going clockwise. Loons hasted into that mortar, going directly to the Expo to help speed them up. Has a bunch of loons over there at 11 o'clock. Hasted right towards the air defense to help speed them up. Has some more loons coming in at 2 o'clock. Still has 2 hounds up and rolling. The Wizard Tower had a couple good shots on the loons, but there's so many at this point with enough pups and the cleanup dropped that it's just basic cleanup at this point. So well done to the bacterial vaginosis. Our next base is going to be number 27. Woo! With a Shankroid. This is another online base. Not really sure why they tried rocking it. It is what it is. With this one, I'm going to drop a couple wizards to help establish the funnel. Yeah, the mortar is going to be taking a couple shots. I don't really care with these wizards. They're going to just bite the dust eventually. Dropping the golems to help tank for the wizards that are going to be collapsing right into the defenses. The queen does target my golem here. So that's going to be a fun little tee-hee in the moment. Get the wall breaker entry, getting the heroes in. The queen jumps the wall. My king is just like, oh, shenanigans, no. Pulling the CC with the random golem. He gets the double giant bomb trigger as he dies in the CC. Having to spam the poisons to make sure that they die. Pop the ability of the king a little bit too early. Drops the jump. That way they're going to keep right on a rolling. Dropping a couple of hogs over there at 12 o'clock to take out that archer tower to keep everybody flowing towards the core of this base. Couple of hoggies over there at the bomb tower. Unfortunately, I dropped the heal a little bit on the outskirts at a little too late, so they're kind of dead, but I'm trying to bring the bacon back from the dead. Queen's taking out the Tesla. Everybody's going to collapse directly right there at the air defense. Whole bunch of hoggers over there at 4:30. The bowlers are going to collapse on the air sweeper and the Expo, so I could do this nice little heal right here where there could be another potential giant bomb. Because I didn't notice that the kill squad had already triggered all 4. And at this point, it was simple cleanup. Wizards I got over there at 2 o'clock shooting a wall because why not? So that was the Shankroid. And then our next base is going to be Molluscum contagiosum. Not every day you get to see the dragon attack. We love seeing these in these wars. Unfortunately, he triggers the Tesla over there at 3 o'clock. Drops his BK down there at 12. Queen is going to slowly but surely make her way into this air defense. I think she's going to trigger a Tesla. Yep. So he pops the ability to help speed her up to make sure those defenses drop. Dropping the dragons over there directly at 1:30. BK is going to try to pop his ability to speed them up to go directly into this Archer Queen. Finally gets the CC pull with the baby coming out. Dragons are raged on top of the Archer Queen. Drop her in one blow. The dragon on the Expo is going to soak up the Sam, so unfortunately he bites the dust. Has the Hound and the Loons coming in behind. Has more Hound and the Loons coming in behind over there at 7:30. Unfortunately, the dragons do eventually find their way outside the base. So the Loons are going to slowly but surely collapse on these 2 Wizard Towers and the Archer Tower. Drops the heal to make sure they're nice and healthy. They'll help out with this Hound that's down there at 6 o'clock with the 2 air defenses. Gonna haste them through, so that way when they get to these 2 Wizard Towers, they're gonna help clean that out and keep these dragons up and alive. The one dragon is tanking for the 2nd Wizard Tower, which was really nice. Unfortunately, they bounce out, so that Wizard Tower is gonna take them out when they finally turn face. But he's still got 4 dragons up, plenty of pups, and a couple minions, barbs, archers mixed in there to help clean up. The one dragon goes in to try to take out the BK. The rest of them finally turn to go in. Skeletons try to drag the dragons back out. The one dragon gets the pad as he goes in for the Wizard Tower, for the one at full health, thankfully. He's going to get the X-Bow and the Wizard Tower targeting him, as everybody else is going to collapse on these two defenses. That Tesla is still kind of slowly but surely pecking people off, but he's still got enough cleanup. That's just going to be one poof, one poof. So well done to the Molluscum contagiosum. And for our last one, we got number 30 with the gonorrhea. Whew. This is how gonorrhea likes to roll. He usually kills most of the time just going in. Drops the loon to get the CC lure. Nothing pops, so he's happy to go with that. Does get the red mine to pop. Drops the BK and the Archer Queen back there. Gonna get a nice wall breaker entry. He tries to get for the second layer. Unfortunately, I don't think these guys get it. Nope. The BK bounces out. I'm not sure why. There was the gold storage right there in front of him. I don't get this game sometimes. It just makes no sense. Because of that, the queen is going to bounce right back out. She's got to slowly but surely try to collect some of these buildings on the outside that mean absolutely nothing at this point. And then he's going to slowly but surely start making his La Lune over there at 130, going counterclockwise. Getting the minions down for cleanup. Taking his time with that haste. Everybody's going to collapse. The Hound is still tanking. Gets that Wizard Tower down. Gets all these loons so that way when they path directly into these two Wizard Towers, they're going to be in the heel to prolong for these two Hounds to come across. A little late with that Rage in the Skeleton, so that way she runs on the other side of the CC, so the Wizard Towers are going to just snipe the crap out of them. The Hounds are slowly but surely tanking, but he still has 3 hastes in the bag. The Skeletons finally make their way over to the Queen. At this point, he gets a nice little drop on the Queen to take out some of her health. The Pups are finally targeting the Queen. As soon as all these defenses go down, she's going to keep stepping forward, so when they do try to come back over to the Queen, they go in the haste and they take her out. And then from here on out, clean up. So well done to the gonorrhea. And that wraps up our recap. It was a good war. I mean, granted they didn't really perform the greatest that they probably could have, but Taylor Swift's 2 nipples, well done. Hope you guys the best of luck further on in your wars. And with that, I hope you have a good one.